UNDP's State of the World's Volunteerism Report 2015 was regionally launched at the UN headquarters in Gigiri, Nairobi, Kenya. The ceremony was graced by dignitaries and members of the diplomatic corps alike. Its core message for the year 2015 is transforming governance. Good afternoon, this is Linda Kroeger on TVC. Now with me is Mr. George Gashier, UN National Volunteer. Now George, I want to ask you, maybe let's start off with what inspired you to get into volunteer work?
What inspired me to get into volunteer work is, just the surrounding that I was brought up in. And I remember as a little boy, we would participate in cleanup exercises, tree planting exercises, before or after playing football. And to me, these were like fun activities. But now thinking of it, it's actually what inspired me to become a volunteer.
All right. Now, what is your perception based on the Kenyan youth? Have they embraced volunteerism?
Well, not really. I mean, they haven't embraced it as much. I would say that most Kenyan youth are volunteering. With all these youth groups and all these church groups, they're actually volunteering. What they don't know is that it's volunteering. And so what we need to do is just, encourage and emphasize and make them understand that what we do on a daily basis is actually volunteerism. But now with the new National Youth Program, I can also assure you that this has sparked a volunteerism in informal settlements. And so, with the different government programs that they are implementing on volunteerism, I can tell you that in the near future, most people will actually realize that this country has great potential when it comes to volunteerism.
Wonderful. Now, what are some of the outreach programs that you've initiated and have taken off the ground nationally?
Nationally, we've mobilized young people in informal settlements. And I will give an example of Mathare and Kibera here in Nairobi and Mtwapa in the coast. For example, in the coast where we are implementing the slum upgrading program from UN Habitat, we've managed to bring young people together through the use of e-participation, social media and all that, to bring them to sit down with their leaders and also be part of decision-making processes of development projects. In Kibera, we've constructed a community center. We're calling it the Kibera Soweto East Resource Center, where the youth benefit from IT training and also from other trainings like entrepreneurship training and life skill training, and then they get support to start small-scale businesses from the private sector and other partners.
All right, great. And what has been the social impact of your outreach work and also as a volunteer?
Well, the social impact is evident. I mean, if you go there and you see the smiles on these people's face as a result of some of the work that we're doing, it shows you that, it sort of brings cohesion, brings people together, and as it was evidence in the last election, that people, especially young people, came together to preach peace among different communities and emphasizing on the right of to vote independently, without fear, as that's what democracy entails.
All right, wonderful. So it promotes national cohesion.
It does promote national cohesion. Regardless of which community you come from, my work as a volunteer working in slum neighborhoods, I've seen that volunteerism promotes national cohesion and also gives someone like some sense, like hope in life, because, the things that we are doing now, sort of will bear fruit in the next months, weeks, or years.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, George, for sharing that with us.
Successful volunteering depends also on what kind of collaboration and alliances you have. These are also collaboration with the media, collaborations and alliances with the private sector, collaboration and alliances with academia. These were critical. Collaboration and alliances with governments. We found in the report that where governments and volunteers were working together, there was much success. The last finding that I want to highlight this morning, Your Excellencies and guests and volunteers, is one that is really more internal, I think, to the concept itself of and the practice of volunteerism. The scale, the scope of volunteerism, and the diversity is massive. It is massive to such an extent that we don't fully understand just how much it can contribute to peace and development. We know that it can, and so we have to deepen our understanding. And deepening our understanding means that we have to allow for informal volunteering, which is the majority. We talk about countless millions of individuals worldwide volunteering their time, their resources, and their knowledge. And in order for us to really appreciate this and be able to partner with volunteers for the benefit of national development, we need to deepen our research. We need to be able to measure to some extent, and we need to be able to disseminate the knowledge that we get from them. I want to finish there.
Volunteerism refers to activities undertaken of free will for the general public good and where monetary reward is not the principal motivating factor. So what is its place in Africa?
But this is a report and an event designed to spark a global conversation on the role of volunteers in improving governance that is so critical to future development success. Ladies and gentlemen, during my tenure as head of state under the Provisional National Defense Council, we had an avalanche of crises pouring in almost all at once. The economy was on the verge of collapse, with government revenue dwindling from 20% of GDP in 1970 to 5% by 1982. Inflation was running at 200%, while Ghana's chief export, cocoa production, had fallen drastically along with climate, gold, and timber. The struggle for basic necessities had also fractured citizens' involvement in decision-making processes regarding their governance. This, coupled with massive corruption, called kalabule in local parlance, had eaten at the soul of Ghanaian society, creating a charged air and an inevitable atmosphere for an explosion. The country had lost too many opportunities to punish crime. But the human psyche was not going to allow crime and corruption to perpetuate itself. The force of conviction had to take its rightful place, the human spirit. Out of that explosion, ladies and gentlemen, was also reborn a massive spirit of volunteerism and a spirit of self-government. It was no surprise.
Subsequently, does volunteerism have a place in African governance? We find out as I interview Ms. Amanda Mukwashi, Chief Volunteer, Knowledge and Innovation Sector at the UNV.